Hello Bambinos, today I have got for you one of my draft analysis for Season 4 of the EWT. Yes, we are in this season of EWT. Also slid straight into my DMs and asked me if I wanted to take part, and I said hells yeah, because it sounds really fun what they're doing this season. If you don't know how EWT is going this season, I suggest going and watch Auto's video explaining it, but I'll try and explain it, but not as good as he would. So it's not your typical draft league. What's going to happen is we aren't playing like a 9-10 week season. We're doing 3 tournament brackets that will look something like this. Well, exactly like this. So here's the first bracket, for example. This is what we're going to be doing. You're guaranteed 2 games out of a bracket. So you play your first game and then you play up to 3 games if you make it to the final. You play a minimum of 2 games because you play your first game. If you lose, you play a losers like versus each other second round. We had to hand pick our teams, 3 teams per bracket, following like a draft points restriction. So it's not that's where the draft comes into it. You have to build your teams under these point restrictions. 3 teams with no mons doubling up between the brackets. So you have to have 33 essentially different Pokemon, because there's 11 in each team. So I'm going to be doing 3 mini draft analysis vids, and I'll probably post them before each bracket starts. So this is going to be my bracket 1 team draft analysis. But before I show you the team, go check out all the coaches in the description below. Some pretty cool guys. There's only 8 of us, which is pretty cool. And you don't know who you're going to play. You might play the same mons on your team because they might have picked the same mons as you on their team. So it's pretty cool. It's a bit different, which I like. Right then, for my team for the first bracket. Boom, here. I went with this team. This isn't actually the first team I picked, which is odd, but it's the first team I'm going to be using in the first bracket. The highest point mons were 18. And my highest point mon on this team is Keldeo at 15. I didn't pick a 18, 17 or 16 point mon because what I was trying to do is I was trying to get more like 15 to 12 point mons. So I've got like 6 15 to 12 point mons, which you usually probably couldn't afford if you picked up a top tier. So Keldeo is my highest tier mon in this draft, but I've got a pretty good group, I think. I'm just gonna tell you what's going on here. We had to pick 11 mons. I went with Keldeo. I like Keldeo. I've not really used it before in draft. I've used it before on ladder and stuff, which is pretty fun. So I wanted to give that a go. It's super strong. Like, it can run Specs or Scarf because you can just flip turn out if the matchup isn't on. Super strong with the Specs. Doesn't get too much coverage, but yeah, it can do that. It can also do like sub-combine stuff. So it's very, very strong. And a good start as my offensive water type and my special fighting type, because I've actually got 2 fighting types. On to Dragonite. Dragonite is just like a constant win con at any given point as long as you don't get burnt. We all know what Dragonite does, and it can also be like super bulky and defensive. I got absolutely 6-0'd by Dragonite quite recently, and it was like Roost Hail Bell, and I just couldn't get through it because I couldn't Toxic it and I couldn't kill it. So yeah, very, very strong mon. Obstagoon, I love Goon. Goon used to be my mascot. I love Obstagoon. I wanted to give it a try in draft because I've actually never drafted it in a singles league. I've used it in VGC, but not in a singles league. I like its abilities, like Defiant. If they've got like a very potent webs user, you can get Defiant boost. You can just go Guts, and you can partner shot in and out with Scarf and get big hits off if with a burn facade. Next, I've got Moltres. It's more of a defensive piece on this team. It is on most teams, I guess, but I'm going to be wanting to run those boots because of that times 4 weakness to rocks and probably just like U-turn defog stuff. But it pairs well with my Fire, Water, Grass core, are very defensive. I've got Moltres, Jellicent, excuse me, and Ferrothorn. You can see there. I think that's like a very strong defensive Fire, Water, Grass core. But we'll see how that goes, basically. I've also got Mamoswine, another really, really strong mon. Just very tough to switch into. There's not a lot of things. Unless you're like a super defensive beast, something like Ferrothorn, which I've got, it's quite hard to switch in on Mamoswine. So that's what I'm hoping to get out of that this season. I used it in another league and it was just an absolute demon. So I want to give it a go again. Jellicent, I like Jellicent. I already have one Watermon, but I wanted a more defensive Watermon, like a bulky water. Jellicent isn't like super bulky, but it has fair defenses. It's not anything on the lines of like Slowbro, but it is pretty good. And you could also burn more consistently with Will-O-Wisp rather than just like trying to get Scold burns. So and then you can get big damage off of Hex after that, which is what I quite like about Jellicent. And also Shrink Zap. Shrink Zap's huge. Being able to lower their offenses while healing yourself is huge. And Ferrothorn, again, like I'm going through these mons and they're still like, you'd consider Ferrothorn a fairly high tier mon. And that's because I managed to pick up like no high tiers, so I managed to get like consistently good mons rather than like a top heavy team here. Pharaoh, everyone knows what Pharaoh does. I'm not going to talk about Pharaoh. It does its shit. It gets rocks up, it gets spikes up, and it just comes in on nearly everything but fire moves. Toxtricity, I love Toxtricity as well. This team, I basically just drafted things I liked, like Keldeo, Goon, Toxtricity are just like mons I like. I will say I've never really like seen Toxtricity pop off massively, but I want to try and get it to because I just love that mon and I want to see it do well. Boomburst just hit like a fucking truck, so yeah, there's that. Persimmon is also a mon that I really like. I think if I were to look on my stats on the draft website, Persimmon is my most drafted mon. I've definitely had this thing on more teams than anything else. It's just very good with the Scarf, pretty much. You can just U-turn about, get big hits off of CC. If you're Defiant, again, I've got a couple of Defiant mons on this team. It can do quite a bit of damage, but it's very low tier. I think it's a good cheap pickup, Persimmon. Togetic, very cheap for the bulk that it gives you with Eviolite. Gives you wish support, you can thunder wave things, you can even like Serene Grace try attack some shit. Can be very annoying. But it's basically, it's my wish mon. Galarian Stunfisk, again, is another mon that is trash, but I like it, so I want to use it. And that's why I picked it up. I can get rocks up, I can trap some things, I can like do that basically. That's what that's gonna do maybe if I ever use it. But yeah, that's my team for the first bracket. Like I said, I'm gonna be doing 3 mini draft analysis, so I'll get like my other 2 up leading up to when the second and third brackets start. But I am super excited to be in EWT this season. It was an honor to be asked to play, so hopefully I can do well and show my stuff and get my name out there. So yeah, I'm not great at draft analysis, as you can tell. I just like really fast ramble through my teams. But y'all know what they do. I don't need to tell you what they do. You know what they do. And oh, one thing I did actually want to say about this team. I've got a ton of X4 weaknesses, like Dragonite has that Ice, Obstagoon, Fighting, Moltres, Rock, Fire on Ferrothorn, Ground on Toxtricity. But my type chart is actually squeaky clean. I have no reds. I have no negatives against any type in on this team, which I thought was pretty cool. It wasn't even intentional. That just somehow happened. So yeah, that's cool. If you like this, then stick around and see how the battles will be going up Sunday of this week. I'm a little bit late. This was supposed to go up yesterday, but it's going up today now. So my first battle will be going up on Sunday of this week. So yeah, see you guys there. Have a good one.